Hello, welcome back to Planet 40k, and today we're looking at the Hounds of Khorne. So let's take a look at the data sheet. Movement 12, very quick. Toughness 4, 7 up save or a 5 up invuln, 2 wounds apiece, leadership 7 and 1 objective control per model. So these guys are 70 points for a unit of 5. One of them will be equipped with the Burning Roar, which is a waste of time in my opinion, but all of them will have the Gore Drenched Fangs. So 3 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 5, minus 1 AP, 1 damage. Not fantastic, but at least it's something, you know. It's going to chip away 6 to 7 Termagants. Sticking with the NID examples, you're going to be trading blows with Gene Stealers. You're pretty even with the Gene Stealers. So they're not massive damage dealers, if I'm being honest. If you want to be big damage dealers, you take these in a unit of 10 and take Karanak. That's 225 points. And then you need to be going after the specific unit you want to hunt. It's a lot of investment, I feel. So they have the Pouncing Hunter's ability. You can target this unit with the Heroic Intervention Stratagem for 0 CP and can do so even if you have already used that stratagem on a different unit this phase. Not a bad little ability. It'd be better if these guys could put out a bit more damage. I think damage 2 would be better. So they're all equipped with the Collar of Khorne, so they all have a Feel No Pain of a 3 up against psychic attacks. Again, that's not too bad. Nothing to turn your nose up at, especially on a 70 point unit. So we're going to take a look at one of the stratagems, Rapid Ingress from the core rulebook. It happens at the end of your opponent's movement phase, and it targets a unit in reserve, which would be the Fleshhounds. So they arrive on the battlefield as if it were your reinforcement step of our movement phase. And you cannot use this stratagem to enable a unit to arrive on the battlefield during a battle round. It would not normally be able to do so in. So the idea would be to drop these in close, keep them hidden from the terrain, and then move in with the Heroic Intervention Stratagem or the ability you have on the data sheet. Also, you can get these guys anywhere on the battlefield you need to. So if you need to get them back into your own deployment zone, you can put them there. If there's a space in your opponent's deployment zone, you can get them in there for scoring points. So the second stratagem we're going to look at is Corrupt Real Space. So at any command phase, as long as your Fleshhounds are within range of 1, you can corrupt it, and then that objective marker becomes your Shadow of Chaos, which is good for deep striking in other units that are in reserve to help you control the midboard, because you might not have Shadow of Chaos in the midboard at this point, hence why you might need to use this, and you might need to pull them away. So you might want to control it, pull them away. You're still holding that objective because they've not claimed it. Are these guys good? No, they're not good damage dealers. I think they're poor damage dealers. I don't think you're going to be fighting anything decent with these. I think they'll get shot off pretty quick. 5 of invuln hurts them. They are better in a pack of 10, but again, that means there's more models on the board, which makes it harder to hide them. For me, I'd be using these firstly to protect my back line. Maybe hold the rear objective, Corrupt Real Space it, and then bugger off. But mainly I'm going to be using these guys to score points because they're quick, so you can move them over to one corner and do an action in the corner. You can move them up to the middle of the board to do deploy teleport homers. You can move them up the board again to corrupt a objective. They've got to be scoring points, they've got to be doing things for you. They're not going to be wanting to get into combat. Obviously, if you need to tie something up, you've got to select the correct units. So you're going to be looking at, for example, intercessors, tie them up quick. You're going to be looking at Gene Stealers, tie them up quick, because they do have a lot of attacks to Gene Stealers, and you're quite even when you trade for blows on average. You're quite even. You need to pick your battles with these guys, but again, scoring points for them, that's all you can be doing with these guys. For 70 points, they're not bad. I don't see a place for these in my army in the way I play. I think there's other units that do it better. Flamers are a great example of this. They're 5 points cheaper, they have fly, they're quicker, they're easier to hide. You can get them in the back line easier, deep strike them into the enemy's deployment zone easier, should I say. They can do the actions as well, obviously, deploy teleport homers, then you got behind enemy lines. They're just going to, I think the Flamers are just a better option than what these guys are. Yeah, not great in my opinion, but it is what it is. If they dealt a bit more damage, I'd say they'd be a bit more viable, but they're not. What are your thoughts on the Hounds of Khorne? Is there a place for them in your lists, or is there something better? Let me know in the comments, and thank you again for watching.